I've crossed a lot of borders in my life. Some of them had checkpoints and stamps, most of them didn't. The border between military and civilian, between rational and mystical, between the world I grew up in and the worlds I've learned to move through. No one teaches you how to cross these borders. There's no visa application, no language course, no orientation packet. You just step across and hope you figure it out before you do too much damage. Today, I want to talk about what that crossing actually means and what it costs. Think about the worlds that you move between. Maybe it's professional and personal. Maybe it's the culture you grew up in and the one you live in now. Maybe it's the person you were at 20 and the person you're becoming. These are real borders. Crossing them is a skill that is rarely spoken about because we pretend everyone lives in one world, one identity, one coherent self. Some of us don't. Some of us live between worlds, and that's a different kind of life. Let me map some of the borders that I've crossed. First, we can talk about language. It's a whole way of seeing. Crossing that border changes what you can think, not just what you can say. Then we have culture. I've lived in the US, but I've deployed to places like Qatar, Syria, in and out of Afghanistan. Each one of those places has rules that no one explains, but everyone enforces. Then we have different walks throughout society. I've been around the corporate environment. I've been in barracks. I've also been in construction sites as well. They don't speak the same language, even when they're both speaking English. Then, of course, we have spiritual tradition. I've studied many different religious texts. People in my original world would call weird or fake or dangerous or any combination of those. Crossing those borders cost me some relationships. Then, of course, we have personal identity. I went from special operations support to this content creator, storyteller. That's a border too. Each crossing taught me something different. Each one also cost me something. So what does it take to actually cross these borders? Well, first is humility. You have to accept that you're a beginner. Even if you're accomplished in your original world, you're a novice in the new one. Your credentials won't always transfer over, and most times they won't. Your instincts might be wrong. You have to be willing to look stupid. The second thing is patience. Border crossing takes time, years sometimes. You don't get to speed run cultural competence. You don't get to skip the awkward phase. You have to sit in, not knowing, longer than it feels comfortable. Third is genuine curiosity. Not fascination or not, I'll learn a few phrases, I'll take some photos curiosity. We're talking genuine curiosity. The kind where you actually want to understand, not just sample, not just collect. The fourth might be the most important to me, and that is tolerance for discomfort. You'll say the wrong thing, you'll misread situations, you'll feel like an outsider because you are one. Quick story. There's been times where I've went to other places, man, we can talk about even in the United States. And you would think, oh, I got this in the bag, this is too easy. And sometimes you're out of your element and you have to accept that. It can be anything, it could be any experience. But with cultures, you have to be okay with that. Sometimes these things can happen within your own culture, which has happened to me. Look, I think I can dance at times, right? And I've been in situations where I'll go to a Cuban party in the past when I was younger and I'm thinking that I have everything figured out. I go and I dance with someone and I'm totally out of my element. I feel like a complete beginner. And this person is like on expert mode. And all you can do is humble yourself to learn from that other person. And that's all you can really do in those situations. Because the more you try to resist it, the more foolish you're going to look, one, and two, you're not really going to get any value from that situation. So why waste that time and why waste that moment? But here's the part no one warns you about. When you cross enough borders, you really stop belonging fully to any of them. You're not quite military anymore. You're not quite civilian either. Not fully American. Not fully anything else either. Not purely rational. Not purely mystical. You're in between. It's a lonely place. I'm not going to pretend that it isn't. But here's the other side of it. There's two sides to the coin, right? Being between gives you sight that others don't have. Insiders, they're blind to their own world. They can't see the water they swim in. But someone who's crossed in from the outside, they see everything. The assumptions, the unspoken rules, the thing that everyone knows but no one questions. You know what I'm talking about. This is the trade. You lose belonging, but you gain sight. So here's my question for you. What borders are you standing at right now? What crossroads? And you know I'm not talking about geographical ones. The other kind. The identity borders. The cultural borders. The borders between who you've been and who you might become. That potential that lies there. That's the harder question. Are you going to cross them? Because you don't have to. Staying put is safer. You'll belong more fully. But with that, there's a trade-off. You will also see less. You'll understand less. And the worst one, you'll stay trapped in a world you didn't choose. Just the one you happen to be born into. I think the crossing's worth it. But I can't tell you it's easy. Tell me in the comments, what border are you facing right now? And what's stopping you from crossing it? I'm not asking you to be inspirational. I'm asking because I'm genuinely curious. And because if you're one of the people watching this channel, you're genuinely curious as well. If you're new here, welcome to Voices Beyond Boundaries. This channel is for people who live between worlds, military and civilian, rational and mystical, the culture you came from and the one you're building. If you're one of those people, you're in the right place. Subscribe so we can keep building this together. And if this video made you think of someone, a friend who's navigating their own crossing, someone who will get it, share it with them. That's how this community grows. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.